Hello everybody, Jack the Railfan here. Today I'm in Indiana, not sure exactly what town, but there is a grain elevator right here. And this appears to be their car mover. Santa Fe, or now BNSF 3838. It's a Jeep of some kind. It doesn't say on it exactly what kind. And I'm not an expert on Jeeps or anything, so I couldn't tell you what model. But it has a 3-chime horn up there facing that way, so I think this might run long hood forward quite often, or at least it used to before it got here. I don't know if this is their permanent locomotive they use to switch cars or anything, but it is really cool to see. Next to it, they have all different parts right here, both for the elevator and for the crossings around it. And this is the only railroad-related thing around here. There's no cars or anything, just tracks and crossings besides this. And this is only a bit of a distance away from Fort Wayne, I think. Maybe it's kind of in between Fort Wayne and Indianapolis. So if you want to look up this locomotive and come see it, it's here. This step looks like it's been replaced at some point. And it has no dynamic brakes. You can tell because it doesn't have any vents or fans for them in the middle of the hood. Alright, as I said, I don't know very much about EMD, and I don't know too much about distinguishing different variants, but I do know this. Cabs that look like that towards the top, I think this is an FP7. That means this locomotive was converted from a F7 streamlined diesel built in the 40s or 50s and turned into a Jeep. Since technically those F7s and things like the GP9 were mechanically the same, and during the rebuild they made the cabs a little bit different. Not sure why. This is Jack editing the video a few days later. First off, I said FP7, I meant to say CF7, and I was wrong. It's not a CF7, it is a GP7u, which was a rebuild program that was going on sometime in the 60s, I believe, done by Santa Fe. This is incredible. Not sure exactly how rare these are, but I've never seen one before, not in person anyways. And the fact that this is in Emporia, Indiana, yep, we looked up what town this is, that's just amazing. This used to serve the Southwest, or at least only as far as Chicago, probably. And now it's all the way out here. That's just incredible, and that's why it doesn't have any dynamic brakes. I'm pretty sure not too many of those covered wagon streamliners had dynamic brakes. After seeing that GP7u, we got back on the highway and headed north. Just before we got to Angola, there was a small town called Greenfield. There was a concrete place, and there were 2 Indiana Northeastern diesels parked there, a couple of old EMDs, SD units I believe. And about a mile past that, there was a farm just west of the highway, easy to see from the highway. And what I saw parked at that farm was incredible. Just in the time we drove past it, going 70 miles an hour, I counted about 4 or 5 steam locomotives just sitting at a farm. Normally you would expect to see some broken farm equipment, maybe a couple of old tractors, but steam locomotives? I went on Google Maps and found what the place was called. It's called Grambling Locomotive Works, and it's an old guy named John and his son Barney, and they work on tank engines together, and they have, I think, 1 or 2 tender engines as well, and they have an Amazon Prime show that's also partially on YouTube called Have Steam Engine Will Travel. I watched all the episodes that are available on YouTube, which is only a couple, and it's definitely worth checking out. And if you want to get on Google Maps and look up Grambling Locomotive Works, it's real neat to see. I counted, I think, 6 or 7 locomotives, or at least things that were part of a locomotive at one point, sitting around that land. Alright, on our way back home now, we decided to stop by Coldwater and see the depot, the freight house, and this is what the Little River Railroad uses as their home base for the train. They have a tank engine, a very, very small standard gauge Pacific, the smallest one in existence, Little River Railroad number 110, and this handcart right here, which is pretty neat. Of course, they have it disconnected so that people can't just move it along these tracks, this little piece of track they have, and chained down. Salon. Ooh. I'll be taking one of these. Here's the address of this place, if you want to stop by at some point. Maybe come by when they are open. And, oh, they have museum tours. That's nice. There's those 2 locomotives that they have. I rode behind 110 when I was little. And 110 recently got out of the shop after its mandated boiler examination and rebuild. Ooh, they have a little train track. Miniature gauge trains. That's cool. I don't know if this was here when I came when I was little. That's cool. They have a baggage cart, picnic tables, so that you can just stop by and have a picnic. And it looks like right now they are redoing their ballast. It's down to dirt right here on this track, and they have a pile of ballast and equipment to put it there, right over there across the road. This is their freight house, and I believe that this is where they have a train layout and a big tall Christmas tree around Christmas time. I remember that from when I came here. But my memory, of course, is very fuzzy because I was little. Might have been this building. Old wooden caution sign. A piece of one. I don't know when the depot or the big freight house was built, but I'll put up the information in text in editing, so you can see that on the screen right now if you're interested. This is their set of steps that they use to get people in the train on the cars where they don't have steps, like if they have a baggage car that they're using as a sort of open-air passenger car. I know a lot of railroads do that, these historical preservation railroads. Now I don't know what these are. I think they're tools for lifting rail. And right across the fence from that there is a wheel set. I don't know where they keep the train, because clearly it's not here. But if you're ever in the area when they're doing some kind of operation, some kind of celebration where they're getting the trains out, or if you just want to stop by and see the depot, this is a good spot to stop, especially if you want to have a picnic on the platform. Alright, that'll be it for this video. If you liked it, leave a like and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that whenever I post a new video, you get a notification. See you in the next one. Bye. What town is this again? Emporia? Okay.